Yo, what's up guys? Before today's video starts, if you would like one-on-one coaching with me for an affordable price, go to the Discord link in the description, join it, go to the coaching section in the text channels and just type anything, say what's up, and I will get back to you about scheduling a coaching with me. Silver, gold, bronze, whatever it is, you just want to move up in rank, hit me up and we'll get it done. Alright guys, so with tip number one, we're going to be discussing accountability. So what does this mean? Basically, in a Valorant match, there's a million variables that actually go into winning and losing a game. Every single round adds up. It changes your buy. If you guys have to save and then that tilts your team and it snowballs into, a 3, 4, 5 round swing. Tons of little things that you're not keeping track of that can definitely be within your control. Because the key to winning a match, it's not about how many kills you have, it's about the impact of the kills. So the first thing that I want to discuss with you guys is having, number one, accountability, but also included in that, understanding, are my kills impact kills? Because we need to hold ourselves here. Like, we can't sit here and say, oh, I dropped 30 with Reyna and we lost, I'm ELO stuck, I can't get out. What were those 30 kills? Were you baiting? I mean, I've seen it a million times. Till the end of the round, you're sitting there, getting 2, 3 kills here, there. Were you getting like a lot of kills in pistol round? Or when the other team was on a save round, were you getting 3 or 4 kills? And I know it's hard to look at this stuff because, you're competing with, your friends, everybody for rank and just all that stuff. You're always talking. So it's hard to look at your actual gameplay and just evaluate it honestly. Because when I look at, my average friend's gameplay, because I'm a peak immortal player, I'm not, the best, but I've definitely, played Valorant at a high level. And the first thing that you'll notice, they're dropping 30 kills, but the quality of the 30 kills themselves is very low. And this doesn't just go for duelists, this goes for any role. But what I'm trying to explain is you need to look at your kills per round and understand how important were these kills? How big were they? Did I clutch a round? Did I clutch a 2v1 to win a round? That's big. Did I stay last up with Killjoy playing post plant? I never, refragged my duelist. I didn't have any mid-round impact while they were retaking site. They get on site, they get on bomb, and then I kill 1 or 2 and die, and they defuse the bomb. You need to look at the rounds very specifically and be like, how good are my kills? How many first bloods am I getting if you're a duelist, for example? Or am I refragging my duelist properly? If my duelists are entering, am I lurking efficiently with Cypher, Killjoy? Am I getting early picks for my team? Am I communicating? All these things are factors, and you need to look at them every single match, because not every single match is winnable, but I guarantee you there's 2 or 3 rounds where you could have had an impact that would have changed the buys around. It would have helped your team out a ton, probably much more than you realize, because Valorant games snowball, not just off of, it's not just about like your economy and all that stuff when you're winning rounds and you feel that momentum. People tilt in Valorant like it's literally a joke how easily people just tilt off a cliff, and we all know this, and I'm sure we're all guilty of it too. But we need to understand that, and we need to look at those rounds that we lose, those key moments where we didn't have impact, and know that that could have changed everyone's mindset. It could have changed the entire game around. Because when you watch a really good player smurfing low elo, if I'm sitting in gold or silver or something, I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of kills, but the quality of the kills is like the agency of the kills is so high. So you guys need to focus on getting impactful kills, refragging duelists. You need to focus on fighting. Don't let them retake site for free just so you can be last alive. It's not always good just to be last alive. You need to be thinking proactively and around, how much space can I take up? If I take this gunfight, is someone here to get the kill if I die? That's a good death. If somebody else refrags onto site for you, it's a good death. It's not a bad death. So you need to think about good deaths, bad deaths, good kills, bad kills. It's the first problem that everybody has, is they just blindly look at their KD at the end of the match and they're not taking accountability for like how bad or good they actually played. They're just looking at that kill death. And now that that's out of the way, it's time for a tip that literally anyone can use right now. You just implement it into your game, you're immediately a far better player, and none of you are doing it enough. And that is communicating utility. Nothing is possibly like more powerful. Like obviously if you have insane aim, whatever, all that stuff is great, but nothing is more powerful than the ability to actually coordinate, communicate, and use utility and synergy. And what I mean by that, it's as simple as, Omen, can you blind main for me? Wait 1 or 2 seconds, blind main for me. I'm going to swing this. Boom, now you have an Omen blind. Your champion has just become stronger. And if you think you're a good player, you think you deserve to climb out of whatever elo you're in, that means you want to be using your teammate's utility because you're good for it, right? You're going to get those kills. But if you have Omen's blind now while you're swinging this main on defense, let's say on ascent or whatever it may be, now you have a new piece of utility, a new thing working in your favor. And if you, let's say you just win that round off one coordination in the close game, now they're on save round, you win that round, they're tilting. Now you guys win the next round. That's like a 3-round swing just off of the momentum you created from using your teammate's utility one time. Just asking them one time, communicating what you're going to do before a round one time. Now imagine you do that every single game. I'm not saying every single round. I'm saying a few times a game. You actually go out and think in a tough game when things aren't going great. What can I do? What can I use? What abilities do we have that we can coordinate to swing around, to catch them off guard, to give them a different look? Because Valorant's all routine. We all know that. Teams winning, everyone's autopilot. They're all talking. They're just doing the same things over and over again, especially in lower elo. How do we stop this actually? And your team's not going to figure it out for you. They're not going to come up with this for you. I'm not asking you to sit there in IGL, because I know not everybody's meant to be in IGL, but speaking up and just asking for 1 or 2 pieces of utility, it's amazing. It goes like an insanely long way to swinging a game. And a lot of you guys might be thinking, okay, well, my teammates don't care. They're just going to tell me, screw off, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, that's going to happen sometimes to everybody. So like, whenever that happens, okay, fine, it didn't work, but you might as well try, because I promise you, honestly, the majority of people, if you just ask nicely and you haven't been toxic, they're going to coordinate utility with you, especially if you're a duelist or whatever you're playing. If you ask somebody to do something, they're probably going to do it, because they don't know what they're doing either. Everyone's autopiloting these matches in low elo. So like, if you take any sort of the helm, usually people will kind of just let you have it, especially if a game's not going too great. If you ask for something and nothing's really been working, I'm sure they're apt to try it, and you got to be good for it. Then you got to be good for getting those kills, and if you're not, then maybe you need to improve in other areas. But nothing could possibly like go a longer way for you than Sova drone this, Skye, could you dog this for me, Skye, could you flash this for me, I'm gonna delay swing it. Like I said, Omen, can you blind? Could I get a molly here, Killjoy, to slow this push, because they've been taking A really fast. Little things like that just go a massive way. I'm not asking you to IGL a whole game. I'm asking you to coordinate with your teammate's utility. Every game you should be looking at whose ult's up, what ults can we use, where can we use them the most effectively, and communicating that with your team, and not just ultimates, because honestly everybody can just look at ultimates. I'm sure everyone does that. Oh, we have Killjoy ult, we'll go hit a B right now, all that stuff. But actually just coordinating the individual pieces of utility that your teammate are buying, because like, think about how much wasted utility, which is all wasted money by the way, goes out of a round every game. Every uncoordinated blind, every uncoordinated drone, dog, flash, all of these things add up. You guys are dropping economy and not getting anything for it. It's money, just like when you buy guns. You need to think of it as like a precious resource, and you need to try your best to get your teammates into some sort of a synergy on attack and defense. And you need to change up the look. You need to ask your teammates to swap. You need to take some sort of control over a match. And like I said, if you only do this for 1, 2, 3 rounds in a game, you can turn an entire game of Valorant. It's such a swingy game, especially in lower elo, when the mindsets are even worse and the skills even more variable. There's so much room for you to impact a game, not just directly by getting good, but also by using teammate utility properly with you, in synergy, with coordination, communication. It is massive. And now getting into key point number 3, guys, this is going to be having mastery over one agent. Of course, you're going to have to play other people and fill, because it's Valorant. Like, people are just going to randomly spam pick stuff, and you're going to have to fill around it. But for the most part, you should have one person that you play, and you should have that person totally memorized. You should understand tons of different looks you can get with them, tons of different ways to use their utility on every single site. You should know, if you don't know lineups on your champion and you play a lineup champion, you just don't deserve to climb. It's free rounds, it's free snowball, free low. Like, think about how many rounds throughout a season your team would freaking win if you knew lineups every single time. Think about how many rounds you've lost to lineups if you play a good lineup player. There's nothing more annoying than somebody who properly knows how to use their utility, and that means like consistently, because anybody can play Killjoy B on a set and pretty much know how to do it. But if you know setups on every single map, you know different looks on every single map, that becomes an insane snowball to you ranking up throughout a season. Because here's the thing, guys, you can't just magically have 10s as aim. If you're like a silver or gold player, you're not just magically, we can work on it, we can get better. Of course, we should be practicing every single day to improve upon it. But these are like, technical, talent-based things that we can't just magically move in some crazy direction for us. We're just not going to have like pro aim overnight. But one thing we can have in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks is true champion mastery. Let's say we're a Viper main. Do we know all the walls? Like, really, do we know all the walls? Do we understand what all the walls are actually doing or accomplishing? Like, if I wall deeper or closer, like, what is that changing? How much are we giving of sight when we take it? Like, all of these things need to be going through your mind. And really the most important thing is, do I know lineups on every map? If I don't know lineups on every map, I don't deserve to climb if I'm playing someone that knows how to do that. If I'm playing Jett, do I know all the places to throw her smokes properly? You know, not just throwing my smoke and just dashing into the middle of sight. I'm, you know, throwing my smoke on top of Jen. I know that dash. I know how to do it. I know how to give the enemy different looks. I'm not doing the same thing on autopilot every time. I know how to use my utility in various ways to help my team, and most importantly, to give different looks to the enemy. If you're giving a team the same look every single time, you know, it just doesn't take that long to adapt to it. And there's nothing more important, because no one really has champion mastery. You look around, no one's doing high level stuff, and a lot of it's totally in your control. There's no mechanics to learn. It's not super difficult. It just takes time. You got to go on YouTube, you got to grind, you got to learn lineups, you got to learn proper, you know, wall lineups, you got to learn, you know, killjoy setups, you got to learn how to place Jett's smokes properly, different looks to place her smokes properly, her best updraft spots. You need to learn different stuff, because number one, it's just throwing the enemy off guard. Number two, it's just putting you in a way better position to win rounds. If you have the proper setups and you're not just free balling stuff, and you really focus on a champion, it can just pay dividends like so much over time. That's what this video focuses on, is things that you do, like I said, coordinating with your team properly. And now this, you know, having champion mastery, understanding every little thing that they need to do and different setups and looks they can get. All this stuff is just snowballing you to a higher rank. It will physically move you to a higher rank. It's not even possible that you sit where you are if you're doing any of the things that I'm saying in this video. It's not possible. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If this helped you out in any way, make sure you drop a sub, comment, let me know it helped you. And if you guys are interested in that one-on-one coaching for a really good price, just join the Discord link in the description, go to the coaching channel and hit me up there. Just type anything and I will get back to you shortly. Have a good one. Look forward to seeing you.